Hola, 'tis Alycia. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to look into black-eyed kids. You know, you've heard about them. I don't know what they're about, but we've heard about them, and they seem scary as all get out. So I got some notes for you. These children, the black-eyed kids, usually appear between the ages of 6 and 16 with pale skin and completely black eyes. Their attire is often described as drab or somewhat outdated. They the people that see the black-eyed keys are typically alone. The scenarios can vary. It might be a knock at the car window while parked or at one's home in the middle of the night. These black-eyed children ask for something. It might be to get a ride in a car, to enter someone's home to use a phone, or something other simple request. Regardless of the situation, there's always an unsettling feeling when people interact with these black-eyed kids. According to many of the stories, the black-eyed kids cannot enter a person's home or car without explicit permission. Like, yes, you may come into my car, you black-eyed kid. The tales rarely detail what happens when someone complies with the request of the black-eyed kids, as most stories are about people who, driven by an inexplicable fear, deny the children's request. The implication is often that allowing them in would result in something horrific, though what specifically is left to the imagination. So, I don't know. Let's see when we find out. I got a little bit of the true crime and conspiracy dex action going on here. Let's see what we can find out. Black-eyed kids. But of course, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only, my opinion, not fact. Gosh, this seems like a really small portion of the deck. Well, let's see what we got. Tell me a story about these black-eyed kids. And if you haven't yet, join me in the Moon Moth Manor. Get access to videos like these ahead of time, and other ones I can't share here on Tuba the U. AI. Okay, then we have surveillance. It's almost I know a lot of people call them like non-playing characters, NPCs or whatever. It's like they're vessels. And there's somebody else looking through their little eyes, or whatever those things are. Yeah, they're watching through their little eyes. Oh, I wonder what that has to do with anything. Investigation. Tonight, news at 11, we're going to be investigating this. False accusations. False accusations. Trauma. Missing. Sixth sense. Fear. We're definitely trying to amp up the fear and get people to tap into their intuition. Death. Soul contract. Interesting. Humanoid. Now, if you know about humanoids more than I do, which you probably do because I don't have a lot of time to research, so tell me in the comments what you know about humanoids, and tell me in like most basic terms ever. Hollow Earth, because I'm only going to explain it how I get it, and it's not going to be paranormal. It's not going to be in any type of, fancy pants type talking. All right, let's get some Mildred Payne on this. Black-eyed kids, Mildred Payne, tell me about the black-eyed kids. Do 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 do. Your wish is their command, your wish is, I don't know. You get to do what you want with it. That's what we'll say. I need more caffeine. It's like they're connected back to the main surveillance point. I see like a control room, and it's very much like beep, 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 go over here, brr, go over here, brr, go, trumpet. It's almost an idea too, like it doesn't feel like specific targets, but it feels like that's a good one. Go after that one. Law enforcement, boots on the ground, investigation, harp. false accusations. People are not being believed when they're saying, like, I swear to God, and everybody's like, you're full of donkey dust. Yeah, sure, bro. People run to get away from this stuff. They're missing a heart. It's sort of like vessels, like they look like a human body, but there's like nothing inside. Like if you cracked it open, it probably would look like it's filled with donkey dust. Sixth sense, they're trying to... People understand when they see that this is an illusion. They're trying to appear as they're humans, even though they have black eyes. And they're trying to play a game on people's natural intuition. They feel danger is here. People can feel it. So they know something's not right. Broom, trying to sweep death. Soul contract. This is written in like their Akashic records. I don't know how that works. Oh, I just want to be a vessel this time around. Okay. I don't know. Work of El Diablo here on the humanoid. It's a growing problem in the hollow earth. What's going on down below? And the paranormal, yes. It would be considered in the realms of the paranormal because we don't understand it. You know what? I bet you the powers that be, they probably already have all the best ghost hunting equipment. They don't even need to try it. Like, I don't need an EVP machine. I just talk to the ghost. Watch me flip this switch and I can see through these other colors, this specific, color that human eyes can't see. But if I just flip the switch, I can see him and talk to him. No problem. Oh, dumb humans. And okay. Like, this is a technology, I feel like it's kind of already been figured out, but we're all like, the rest of us, peasants here on Earth, we're all just like, eh. It's weird though. Like they've already agreed to do this. It's almost essentially kind of like a selling your soul because that was not the original intent. For the human experience was to go doing this, but it's almost like it's been hacked. This is a process that's been hacked, like powers that be, whoever, they've got too much information, and so they're like sending these little bots out here. Now, why they pick their victims or who or what, I'm not sure. But let's pull these up and see if we can get more information on what is this about? Because they're like picking a mark. Like, oh, here comes Joe coming home from the Wawa. Let's go get him. Like, let's start with that. How do they pick their victims? Or the terrified people that have to encounter them, let's say that, because they're not always victims. But how do they pick their person? And this is Twisted Tarot Tales. Oh, Seven of Swords. There's a strategy behind how these bastards are doing their sneaky work. Oh my gosh. Death. This is, okay. So I'm going to say this is kind of part of this alien thing where I don't know. I haven't studied black-eyed kids or the black-eyed peas long enough to understand if there's an idea that some of the people who've experienced this have maybe also had lapses in time where they are and they go over here and they're like, hey, we're going to get our probes out and stick it up your bum. Boop, boop. There's like home bases, wherever this is. I would have to imagine, I don't know if they have a little black-eyed kids investigation thing, kind of like how there's MUFON. Like if they were like tracking, there's like hot spots where there's certain home bases where they're watching. They're up here on their hill and they're looking out of the window trying to see who's going to be the next lucky victim that's going to get to be a part of this experience. And this is them. A part of the paralyzing fear is to paralyze the people from not fighting back or to just kind of get them to go along with this. It's very much like an alien encounter. How weird. this is working together, right? Like you have the little vessel kid, you got the surveillance back watching, and oh, looking how his hands on his back, like, yeah, this is, you're gonna draw me, I'm tapping in. Brrr. Weird, weird. And then the people fight back. There's something that's alarming, and I want to say that it's some type of frequency that's coming off of these beings. Like like I hear it, like you know, when you hear old video cameras zoom in, you hear that. Like there's something frequency wise that makes the people like, meh, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is not legit. There's the children. It's a different way to lure in people to do experiments on. Wow. And it's just like they're picking them. And they're trying to get out of trouble. It's very much like the alien abduction. Like, you know, like the hills running away, right? Like we're trying to get away from these people. Can't be seen in the light, Caroline. Those probably references don't go together. Four of Cups, because nobody wants to participate in these experiments that they're doing. So it's almost like sort of a strategy, not a strategy. Whatever bait pulls into the bait's lot, whoever pulls in, there's just a quick like, meh, let's see, we size this one up. Does this one seem like it's going to be too hard to catch? Nah, let's try this one. Interesting. Yeah, because they're doing weird stuff. Like there's this idea like we want to hypnotize them and get them, come to me, come to me. Oh. And they're not afraid to like, I'm going to say there's something that's happening here when the people get kind of locked into this until they like trust their intuition to get the heck out of Dodge. There might be some type of shape-shifting moments happening in the face with the black eyes. Like the black eyes, it's almost like there's a holographic thing that can happen with their face. To take it up another level, to try and paralyze people with the fear so they don't move and get away. What in the world tinfoil hat hole did I just fall into? Here I thought it would just be, yeah, they're little bastards on the side of the road and they go get their costumes at Halloween Town or something. All right, let's ask them. What happens if you give these little black-eyed kids explicit permission? I think we know, but apparently a lot of people are just don't seem to have a choice. But let's say you go along with it. Here comes little Johnny Demon around the bend, and he's like, hello, mister, may I come into your house and use your phone? Then what could happen? What happens if you let one of these kids into your house? I don't want to let anybody in my house. I'm going to have to check everybody at the door now. We got to get some more salt around the perimeter. Page of Cups. They seem unassuming because they're kids. Got it. Oh, then it quickly escalates. Knight of Wands. Like now you've taken a risk because you've let the little black-eyed kid into the house. Oh, I gotta fight him off. Yo, I gotta fight him off. This is my house, my property. Get out of here, you bastards. What are you doing? I'm just a child. I wouldn't hurt you. No, I wouldn't. I'm a good little kid now. Oh. Interesting. It's almost it's a permission where I don't know that anything immediately happens right away, except like yeah. Okay. So, if you let them in your house or you let them in your car, essentially it's like back in the old days, like remember when people would get you to sign up for like 10 magazines or something? They're like, oh, it's a great deal. Here, sign up here for 10 magazines and we're just going to send them to you forever. And then when you try to cancel, it's like hard to cancel, kind of like the Columbia House disc or tape thing where for a penny you can get da-da-da and then you can never like unsubscribe or get rid of it. It's really hard to figure out how to do that. This is essentially they're You have agreed, yes, I want to be a part of whatever these black-eyed kids are selling, of course. And they're like, thank you. And it's almost like there's some type of, I don't know how, agreement made. It doesn't feel like we're signing on a dotted line, though. It feels like there's some type of bond. I don't know if this is like, I shook your hand, I touched your hand, I did something. There's something like, you let me in. Okay, now I'm marking you as mine. And then it's like there's some weird connection, like, now you're gonna be letting us do things to you whenever we want. And then they just like walk out the door. It's like a recruiting type thing. If you let them in, then they kind of can recruit you to come back around whenever they need to do more experiments and stuff on you. What? This is so... So they want to experiment on people. Why do they... I mean, there's so many reasons why people would want to experiment, you know, governments and stuff. My opinion, allegedly. I just read cards. I guess they can't get enough volunteers for whatever these experiments are. Like, why do they have to go through these weird ruses? There's the Emperor. And these little gremlin children trying to find the... They don't have enough test subjects to do whatever the heck they're trying to do. Take over the world. It's like, this is like a long-term project, and there's many phases to it. So I'm thinking that a lot of the things that we put into categories overlap in certain ways, and they're not just in little boxes. The boxes have no like dividers between them. There's cross things happening. Look, there's the ghost of the past. They want to, come on over, Beth. Like to introduce you to my friends? Yes, we're in a different dimension. Welcome. Nobody wants to volunteer for what they're trying to do. There's some experiments that they're trying to do nobody wants to be a part of. And they use the ruse of kids because it's an easier way to get them in there for this stuff. Like, they don't have enough, like, I think there's harvesting going on. Like, oh, you know, I need a couple of appendixes, or I need a, you know, a lung. You got, Jerry, you have any more? Nope, I don't have any more lungs. Oh, send the black-eyed kids out. We don't have enough bits and bobs and pieces and things for whatever this nefarious group is doing. They don't have enough for their experiments, and they're working on something. And so if it's almost there's two things when the black-eyed kids go out. Either it's like recruitment, like we're tagging you for future use. Remember when we saw that card before where they leave the door, like, okay, thanks for playing. We're going to be coming back to you when we need something. Or it's like, we're just going to do our mojo and take y'all on up with us. Wow. This is the craziest ding-dong stuff. I mean, my gosh. My gosh, what, like, look, there's eyes. There's eyes. Okay, well, there we go. I've had enough of that one, too. Ooh, sage myself. Stay away from the black-eyed kids. Scary, scary. Okay, well, with that, you stay safe, too, and keep your eyes peeled for those people, or humanoids, or aliens, or paranormal something or others. Keep away from them. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Adios.